What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today is day 6 of the summoning event. There's only 2 days left, y'all. The fun is about to end soon, which really does stink. But make sure you're on the Discord, join the community, stay updated. But yeah, let's just get into it. Today I'll be doing the summons as usual, and then talking about how the new gear system with Wyvern, how it kind of nullified a lot of gear for late game, and things you should be watching out for, especially if you're entering late game. Like if you can already do Wyvern B11 and Banshee B11, this video is for you, and it's something that it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's pretty exciting. So let's just get right into it. We got our 10 summons of the day. So far, we have gotten 3 5-star heroes, 1 5-star artifact, and we did 1 ML summon, but we have not gotten ML summons from the normal Covenant system. So let's see if we can break that streak today. Let's see if we can get one of these to be an ML summon, which we have been missing, to round out our rates. Alright, so we got the first shiny of the day. Let's see what the shinies got for us. Okay, 4-star artifact. We've gotten a bunch of 4-star artifacts. I feel like I get more 4-star artifacts than I get 4-star heroes, which I think that's how they made it out to be, but I don't know. So for our daily, if we were just doing 10, this would be it. Only 1 lightning. Let's see with my 5 supplemented what we would get. So hopefully we get at least 1 more lightning. ML lightning is always hype when you get it on the dailies, because it's like you're not expecting it. You're just like, I was not expecting this. Like, what the heck? It's looking pretty dry today. Let's see if these next summons. Let's get the RNG gods to bless us for these last 2 summons. Alright, last summon. Last summon. Oh, I thought when the little lag, I thought it was gonna be a Amulet hero. I'll just finish it out today for y'all, because I hate having just 2 bookmarks. So we got nothing. Wow, today was a really low day, low roll day. It happens. You know, we can't complain. At least some of them are gonna be bad. Today was probably our worst rate ones, because if we look at the raids, it's like a 3% rate. So that means that out of those 20 summons, we should have seen, how many is that? So 10% would be 2. So out of those 20 summons, oh, it's more. It's 3% to get a 5-star thing. It's 20% total, the rates, or 10% if I remember correctly. Oh, it's 13%. So that's really bad. So it's like 13%. I can't do math, y'all. That's 14%. So it's a 14% chance. That means we should have seen at least 2 lightnings, but we only saw 1, which means that we were missed out on 2. But, you know, it happens. It's the name of the game. If you play gacha, you gotta expect those days too. So I'll have to get some more summons. Hopefully we can farm enough gold to be able to get them from the shop. By the way, if you wonder how I get all my summons and how I'm still able to keep the crystals pretty high, it's just I do so much hunts recently because of the update that I've been getting a lot of gold, and I've just been re-rolling the shop for summons, because it's the best way. For the least amount of diamonds, you get the most summons. So that's why I do that. But alright, let's talk about the actual video. So with the update, one of the biggest things introduced was the Reforge. So biggest thing with Reforge that I think is pretty crazy is the fact that it only works on level 85 gear, and only 85 gear that has been upgraded to plus 15. So what does this mean? This means that all gear that's under level 85 is automatically worse, unless it's events. So I just say this caveat because a lot of people were like, all the event exclusive gear is trash, right? But that's just simply not true. While the ranks might not be as good, you're still gonna be using them. They're still gonna be really, really good, especially if you're a new player. Like the new set they gave us, that's a level 71 set, the attack set. It's like way overstated, or it's 78. Like, look at this ring. It's 60%. That's the same as a level 85 equipment. Yeah, the new level 90 equipment is it goes up to 65 or to 65%. But for these type of like ring, like event equipment, it has perfect stats. Like, it has perfect substats. And even if you upgrade it to level 85, you'd have to have a godlike luck and rolls and to be able to do better than that. And that's just not gonna happen that often. Like, I probably have like one or two pieces of equipment that are actually that level. So event exclusive, like even this ring, this thing that's 65, it's still pretty good. It's still usable. I'm talking more about 70 gear like that you would normally get from Hunt. So let's see. I've already sold the majority of mine. That was an event. So this is one. So this one, it's just like, for example, let's look at this one, right? So this gear, at best, it'll have like one more roll, right? And it looks pretty good. But the problem is, if I had the exact same gear on a level 85, not only do I have a fire base stat, I have the potential to upgrade it in the future. So this means that level 70 equipment, that's not like event, it's done. It's practically late game useless. Because if you have a group, like, you can still use it for like supplemental until you get the full 85, but you're just hurting yourself if you're only focusing and you're wasting resources on level 70 gear now, which is kind of rough because I have a lot of 70 gear that I invested pretty heavily on. Like, for example, this one, amazing health, super good speed, right? But if I was to get a level 85 set equipment and it rolled the exact same way, even if it had the exact same stats, the fact that I can re-roll it means I can get this health percentage to be way higher. And normally you don't feel that as much until you start talking about things like speed. And I'll show you an example of what I mean by that. So the speed gap is going to be crazy to the point where if you can't get these stats and you don't have this level 85 equipment, you're not going to be able to have a speed cleave team unless you're going against a slow team. Like, it's okay to have, but you're gonna have to think of other ways and other units to counteract the meta. Because let's look at the Wyvern, right? Which is probably the most important hunt that everyone should be working up towards. So my Basar has this helmet that I got pretty lucky on the rolls. 17 speed on a level 87 equipment. That's pretty good, right? But when it gets reforged, I get an extra 4 speed. And this isn't even one of the ones that's like god tier level. Like, there's some people that have it at 21 speed that instead of just getting +4, they get +5 speed. That's just insane. Like, 5 speed, that's like the difference between speed RNG'd and not speed RNG'd. That's huge difference. That's like, it's I can't even describe to y'all how big of a difference that is, because that either puts you in the speed tie scenario where it's literally like a RNG roll, or it puts you outside of it. So it just gives you so much advantage. The one I recently, like, the biggest one is honestly the boots. Because now, already if you had a level 70 boots, you're already missing out on 5 speed. Now you're missing out on 10 speed. Because let's say for this one, I would do this boots, it's 45 speed now. This also brings up another problem, or another challenge, or another, like, dilemma. So for example, this exact set that you'll see, it's on my Spectre Tenebria, but it's a blue set. I love the substats on it. I was really happy with the substats. It was doing what I wanted to. But with the recent update, these boots are basically like fodder. And why do I say they're essentially fodder? It's because for my Spectre Tenebria is fine for now. I don't need her to be stacked. I don't need her to have the highest substats. But the fact that it's a blue gear, if you see the reforging, I'm only getting 3% on crit hit chance and then barely anything on the other stats. And that really does hurt because it makes it so gear, that purple gear, like for example this gear, look how much more stats I'm getting, even though it's like, yes, it's flat percentages. Let me see if I have another one that's like more exemplifies this more. Let's see if I can find one of my legend, even for purple grade gear, like 4% versus like what, 3%. That's a big difference, especially for crit rate. And that's just the difference between having blue gear and purple gear. Now think about between blue gear and legend gear. Imagine if it all rolled, like for this one, look how much, 6% extra effect resistance. Imagine if that was attack percentage. Compared to like the other one where I'm basically getting +3 on all the stats. This one I'm getting like +6 on like the main stat. Because it's a legendary grade gear. It really does heighten the gap of everyone's units. Because it makes it so if you don't have legendary grade gear, the substat increases that you're getting are not going to be as good as if you had if you had legend gear or even epic gear. I think epic gear is still fine. It's not as strong as legend gear, but it's probably where you're going to be going with. So one thing to remember with these times is that you have to start transitioning to level 85 gear that's at least epic grade. The only reason I would say stick with blue gear and don't just trash blue gear is because gear is hard to come by. Don't just like, if you have a level 85, like for example for my Spectre Tenebria, I'm not gonna find a replacement boots for her until at least like a week or two, if not more time, because it's like it's still it's a solid set, but I know I have to change it in the future, because right now when I get enough forging materials and it's time for me to like decide, do I want to make my Spectre Tenebria on the same level as other people's main static units? When I say the answer to that is yes, I have to have those substats be up to par, and I have to be able to have the reforged gear. You don't waste your reforged material on blue gear unless it's like God tier. I just wouldn't do it. If you have blue gear, just wait till you get something else. Don't reforge it. It's fine to use it, but reforged materials are hard to come by, y'all. Don't be wasting them on blue gear. Use it more on like for example for my Bazaar, on the epic gear. Use it on units that need the stat boost. So biggest stats to look for, that I should have mentioned this earlier, biggest stats that you should be using your reforged materials to is going to be speed and crit rate, because that's the ones that honestly all heroes need and are the most important. So I can't find, oh yeah, because it's a 5-star. So for example for my Bazaar, he's the first one that I upgraded this boots, because I needed the 5 extra speed, and the effectiveness shot up from like 18% to like 25. Like it was something crazy, because it rolled a lot into effectiveness. The next year I'm probably going to do is this helmet or the chest, because actually I don't think I can't do this one because it's the event, but this one's, it's still really good substats. But see, even for this one, like that's plus 15, but the fact that I can't upgrade it means that for speed I can't use this. If I really want to have the fastest Bazaar possible, I have to get a new chest that has like plus 17, that's level 85 from hunts, if I want to have the fastest Bazaar possible. Same thing with this necklace. It's plus 15. Yeah, it's cool and all, but it doesn't have, I can't upgrade it. So this is, I'm capped. This is as high as I can go. It's the same thing with all of these. It's kind of rough, because if you really want to make your units really fast, you have to upgrade it. So for example, the only thing I can really upgrade right now for my Bazaar is going to be this helmet. And that's going to be what I need to do. So that's what you have to prioritize, is speed and crit rate. The heroes that should be prioritizing your resources should be heroes that you're using for cleave teams or your setup units. So Bazaar, Athletica, who's amazing at setting up your Oxlots, or units that you need for one-shotting. So that would be like your Assassin Coley. That'd be someone else you'd want to like prioritize, or your Assassin Sid, or even like your Sigrid, because if she's the one-shot unit and you need her to have more damage, like maybe she's not getting the final kill on someone, she's someone that you would prioritize that on. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure that you're not wasting resources on level 70 gear anymore. If anything, try to at least get blue gear, level 85, to start being able to potentially move in the end game. Because level 70 gear, y'all, you're gonna be wasting so much resources trying to level it up. It's just not worth it. Just get it to plus 9, or plus 12. As long as it does the job for you, you're fine. But yeah, it's crazy how this update has changed how we progress. But all right, that's all I got today. I'll see you next time. Peace.